All right, so what I'm about to say is for my kids and my future grandchildren. Anybody else who comes across this, listen at your own discretion. But this is mainly for my tribe, my people. You don't have to agree with me, and you also don't have to disagree with me. Simply, if this doesn't connect with you, then it doesn't connect with you. But I'm talking to my kids here. Human beings live in 4 parts. We have a physical, a mental, an emotional, and a spiritual. I'm going to touch on all 4 of those, and please know that I'm not teaching a spiritual teaching. This is not a religious teaching. I'm not trying to persuade anybody to believe what I'm about to say. I'm just simply pointing to something. I'm pointing to it, which means that no matter what you believe in, anyone can see this. Anyone can see this. Okay. So let's look at those 4 parts. We have the physical body, what you see here, the physical body, my fingers, my hand, my elbows, my brain, my nervous system, my heart, all of that is the physical. And then there's the mental. The mental contains everything that I believe, all of my ideas, all of my concepts, and my thoughts. And each one of those has branches. So my beliefs about God, about me, about my family, my beliefs about the world, etc. And the same for my ideas of myself, ideas of other people, concepts of myself, concepts of other people, images of myself, images of other people, images of the world, images of all that stuff. And both physical and mental are connected to memories of my past, memories of past experience, memories of the things that I've learned in school. And then there's muscle memory, which allows me to jump on a bike and remember how to ride the bike without having to learn every single time I hop on a bike. Next is the emotional part of me, which contains my anger, my envy, my love, my happiness, my sadness, and all of my other reactions to the world, all of which are geared to keep me safe, right? And lastly is my spiritual, which is what connects me to you and connects me to the world. Now, here's a question that most people don't bother asking themselves. Which one am I? Out of all those 4 things, which one am I? Some people will say that I'm all 4. All 4 of them are me, is who I am. Some people will say, well, then that I'm the body. Obviously, everything else is a tool. Some people will say that they're the mind and everything else is its tool. And then you have the religious people who believe themselves to be all 4, but that their spirit or their soul will actually continue. But I really question, which one am I? Which one are you? Are you the body? If you say that you're the body, if the body is you, then what happens when you lose an arm? Do you stop being you? Remember what your body used to look like when you were a baby. And remember how it changed when you became a toddler. And then when you became a teenager, it really started to change. And if you're an adult now, your body's really different than when it started. So that changed. So how can that be you? If you say that you are the mental aspect of it, well, look at it this way. How many beliefs have you dropped on your way to the age that you are now? Think about all the things that you innocently believed in when you were a kid, that you were exposed to later on in life, that you no longer believe in. Your mind has changed. So how can you be that? And as if that weren't enough, think of the people who have dementia, who are affected physically, that they forget who they are or who their loved ones are. So if that also withers away and dies, how can you be that? And if you think that you are your emotions, just think about how many times your emotions have shifted. Think about how scared you were when you were learning to ride a bike because you thought you were going to fall over. And then once you got the hang of it, you weren't scared anymore. So that passed. Your body went through phases. Those phases came and went. Your mind had ideas and beliefs that also came and went. You have emotions that come and go all the time, but what doesn't come and go? What has been there from the very beginning? What was backstage watching the world as an infant, watching the world as a toddler, watching the world as a teenager, and is now watching the world as an adult? Something there has never changed. Something there has not come and gone. Even the person who suffers with dementia is still here, is still present. What is it that does not come and go? That's the spirit. The spirit is the one that all of these changes are happening through. The spirit is the only thing that's going through the changes, but is not being changed. I'm going to say that again, because when you look at your body, you're saying like, oh, my body is going through these changes. But your body is changing. It's left its infant body and is moved now onto its adult body, or your teenage body, or your kid body, whichever stage you're in right now. But there's something that's moving through all of those changes. There's something in you that is moving through all of the mental changes. What you believe, and you dropped one thing and you picked up another belief. Then you dropped that belief and you picked up another, right? It's moving through that. It's the one that's moving through all of the emotional changes. When you pick up fear and then let it go. When you pick up happiness and then that goes. All of the emotions that pass through this, pass through the spirit. And that is what you are. That's what connects you to other people. And that's what connects you to God. And that's what connects you to the spirit of all of creation. It is the witness of all the coming and going of your physical, your mental, and your emotional bodies. Your body is a tool that gets you by in this world. Your mind is a tool that helps you understand the world. Your emotions are a tool that helps you survive the world, because how else would you know that a tiger is dangerous if you didn't feel that fear? So sit with this for a bit. Notice the physical sensations and that you are the witness of those sensations. Notice the thoughts that cross your mind and that you are the witness of those thoughts. Sit there and notice that you are experiencing those feelings as well. There's a feeling that arises. There's anger, there's hurt, there's happiness, there's all kinds of feelings that arise, but you are the one that's witnessing them. You witness those. I'm not teaching a new doctrine. I'm not teaching a new religion. I'm not teaching any of that. I'm pointing to something that doesn't matter what religion you are, doesn't matter what nation you live in, it doesn't matter what color your skin is or your hair or your eyes. It does not matter. Every single one of us can witness this. That is who you are. And if you learn to live in that, then you won't be disturbed by the physical, you won't be disturbed by the mind, and you won't be disturbed by your emotions. You will be the one that uses all of them to survive and to help others survive. You will be the one that watches all of the coming and going and won't be affected or won't depend on other things to make you happy. When you come to this realization that you are that, when you're that, you will find a peace unlike anything that you will ever find in this world. A peace that doesn't come and go. A peace that's everlasting. A love that's everlasting right here in this space. You won't look to the world to tell you who you are. You won't look to the world for that happiness. You'll find it right here. You won't depend on the mind to give you meaning. You have all the meaning right here. You won't depend on your emotions to give you joy and peace and tranquility. You have it right here. And this doesn't come and go, but that does. And the sooner you come to this space, the happier you'll be.